this all takes place when I'm 6, 7, 8 years old, and I remember it very vividly, just like I do quitting the Good News Club. In 75 and 76, my mom worked at Boone's Treasury, which is now the McMenamins on Liberty, and the building was owned by a Scotsman named Ian Moore, and I believe it still is. He wore a kilt around and stuff. So I was down at Boone's all the time with all the boonies. My uncle lived down the alley, and it was just such an eclectic, warm kaleidoscope group of people that you could not imagine the characters that were there. Lawyers, hippies, drug addicts, actors, actresses, gays, lesbians. They were all there all the time. And my mom was in Godspell in '77 out at Pinnacle, and the same thing. I mean, talk about a group of open and loving and warm people. Just amazing to be around. And in '78, when she bought the restaurant, those Booney people, some of them transferred over. There was a gal named Peanuts that came, and vibrant redhead. She was gay, mean. Whoo, man, she was mean. Probably 19 or 20 years old, But there was another character, and he was like larger than life. And everybody called him Gay Ray. And I remember asking my parents, why do you call him Gay Ray? And of all people, and I say that with detest because I don't talk to him anymore. My dad said, Aaron, there's girls and there's boys, and some girls like girls and some boys like boys, and they call that gay, and Ray likes boys. And I was like, oh, no, pretty good answer for a kid. I mean, it was just, that's what it is. And when he was around, he was, like I said, larger than life. He was a giant man, 6'3", and not fat, not buff, but just a big character. And he wasn't loud and boisterous or anything like that, but flamboyant, a little bit. He did drive a purple Nomad, but he was always, when he was around, he came out to my parents' house for all these people did. He came out to my folks for parties and stuff, and he always took the time to ask me, hey, Tiger, how are you? How's school? You listen to your parents, get along with your brother and sister. He was just a nice soul. You could tell he was a good man, and I just remember the happiness of all those people, and the fact that Gay Ray was gay. Once I knew it was just moot. He was just a warm, happy person, fun to be around. He was polite and always treated me with the utmost respect. I think that Jack and I, and even Mackenzie to a certain point, our childhood was about that long, so we were always treated like adults from a very young age. And I hate to have to say this, and I will, because it hurts me, that hurts my heart that one or two of my friends might think this. In no way was he ever grooming me or anything like that. That would hurt my feelings very bad if anybody ever thought Ray was nice to me just because he was grooming, because that doesn't happen. And as far as any interest in a child, you have a cat and you have a cow, and the difference between those is drastic, as in a homosexual and a pedophile. They're not even the same thing, so I don't want anybody even to think of that. So I spend time with all these colorful, warm, open people as a child, and I grow up and I become the person that I am. And about, I'd say, 15 years ago maybe, my mom called me and said, they're having a Booney reunion. I'm like, what? She goes, they're having a reunion at Boone's. Ian's flying in from Scotland. I said, what time? We're going. We're going, no doubt. So we go there, and I walk in the door, and the first guy sees Ian Moore, went over to talk to him. He knew exactly who I was. I saw Steve Gorham. He was a Booney, Diane Down's lawyer. He's the lawyer in Salem that takes all the horrible cases. He's got a Frito Man mustache, a huge thing. And Scott Hall, his dog got hit a couple times out in front of Boone's. I mean, I knew all these people as a child. And there was a gal looking at a photo album, and I was kind of looking over her shoulder, and she goes, she looked back. I said, I'm sorry. She goes, no, go ahead. She goes, do you know any of these people? I said, I know all the people on that page. She goes, well, who's that? I said, that's my Uncle Mike, and that's his wife, Cindy. Well, who are these people? I said, that would be my mom. That would be my Aunt Kathy, my brother, my sister. And she goes, what about this lady here? I said, her name was Peanuts. She worked at my mom's restaurant. We had an omelet named after her, Peanuts Omelet, and I don't know what happened to her. And she turned around and she smiled, and I'm like, Peanuts. I mean, it was so good to see her. And she introduced me to her partner, Kim, and I said, you've got to come for Christmas. And she's like, what? I said, you got to come for Christmas to my mom's. And you could tell Kim was not in the best of health. And they came that year to Christmas and had a wonderful time because Peanuts worked with my brother and sister. They hadn't seen her since we were kids and stuff. And had a great time. But back to the bar, I'm talking to Peanuts and Kim, and I stand up to leave, and I hear this big laugh in the corner. And I knew it was Ray. I knew it was Gay Ray. And I looked up, and there his booming stature is over there by the bar, and there's a couple people talk to him, and they walk away and shake hands. And I immediately walked over and introduced myself. I said, Ray. And he's like, yeah. I said, Aaron Reinwald. He goes, Reinwald. I said, Mother Hubbard, Diane right there. So that's my mom. And he's like, the wash of joy over this man's face was amazing. He's like, Tiger. I said, Ray, how are you? He goes, Aaron, I am fantastic. How are you? And we talked for a very long time. And I conveyed to him that being immersed around all those people, and not especially him, but he was my first exposure to a gay man, and he was my baseline for that. Once I knew he was gay, it was not an issue. It was not ever talked about. It was not ever a big deal. He was just a gay man, and so I didn't. And he cried, I cried. It was just a touching moment. But you never know what your actions to a young person is going to help them in life or hurt them. You never know what you're going to do. But I was so happy that I got to be able to tell Ray that, and it meant the world to me. So that's why this whole gay issue is just always such a moot thing to me. It just doesn't come into play with my life, my friendships, my love for my friends and stuff like that. And I guess on that, this is getting kind of long for one of these, but my wish for the new year is that we're all just a little bit more tolerant of our fellow humans. I struggle with it every day. I don't struggle with sexuality or race or anything. I deal with stupidity, ignorance, and lazy. Those are my things that I struggle with every day. But we're all here for a pretty limited time, and just try to be more tolerant of others in this upcoming year. That's all I ask. All right. Everybody have a fantastic Friday and a wonderful weekend. Thank you so much.